like that kind of setup, and for WRLB, they are going to match it here.
Yeah, exactly that. No majors that we see at all, as you mentioned, Rafa. It's all about the bruisers. It's all about the tanks. Again, both teams are very AD focused, though, so I think this is actually not that bad. They're kind of shaking hands in a way because there are so many AP picks that are already gone. Rumble, Akali, Gwen on the first ban phase. That'd be very interesting if that is the case as well. Maybe they're doing a little bit of a lane swap as well. Maybe the production are just trolling us with where everyone's playing in terms of roles. We'll have to wait and see as we get into game for game number 1. It is going to be...
we got Skamazed. All right, okay.
It is Talon Jungle.
Okay, well, you're right. So
yeah, there it is.
Nunu is going to be the one piloting the Talon Jungle. Onron is actually taking the Aatrox into the mid lane, which makes a lot more sense, matching that of the likes of the Ornn, or at least trying to scale into it, and Renekton over into the Baron lane against the Poppy. So I'm going to take everything back that I said just a couple.
I know they always fight. They don't care. They're just always engaged. EMEA is maybe a little bit slow and global servers a little bit slow, but in China, they always love to fight.
It's crazy, though, because they still find a way to optimize all their resources as there's a fight onto the top side of the map. The dive is set up beautifully by Scene, and Huiba's there for the alley-oop dunk.
Oh, my word. Stuart literally was the one that brought it up immediately.
Lee Sin is not one to shy away from a lot of damage as he gets further and further accelerated into the game.
Another
but
fight.
Here comes Nunu trying to set up the dive into the bottom side of the map. The donut from Karma tries to set up the play. Nunu easily skips going out over the peril, and there is a massive kick as Huiba is able to reset the fight, forcing the rest of WRL Blue to flash away. DY tries to go in for a re-engage, but now Onron, it's his time to shine as he comes back in with the Darkened Blade. A little bit of extra safety because you can always go for that tether and the shield. And yep, this Nami is in a world of trouble. The Karma ultimate is going to pin her down, and nice use of the heroic
This
slam.
is a team fight, so they can try again. As long as they're able to get a good setup for Call of the Forge God and a tidal wave, it'll be massive.
And the gold lead isn't that far apart from these two teams. Massive engage right there with the tidal wave. Bubble doesn't only hit one there.
Teleport.
As the Lucian from SkyFL gets some decent damage with the culling. DY is forced to flee as Onron pops the World Ender. Here comes the Call of the Forge God for the re-engage. Hits 2 members there, but the ensemble has been secured by Nunu, and Onron is bullying everyone else from WRL Red out of the blue side jungle. The flash over the wall soldier looking to continue the rampage from the side of WRL Blue.
As the late game progresses, there's not going to be a lot that can match this Aatrox.
Okay, well, Xjong was slain by Scene over on the other side of the map, but Onron and Nunu pay some love back and ensure that they can equalize the kills here.
It's absolutely scary. And I mean, the Ezreal is already painful. Soldier, imagine if the Triforce is already completed. That's going to be
the map. Meanwhile, on the bot side, you've seen plenty of pings into that bottom jungle.
They want to fight over this red buff and just force the advantage where they have nearly a 3,000 gold advantage on their side. Hang on, Onron might have been a little too deep on that one. Flashes back in time. Another flash from SkyFL as he finds the Talon in that Dragon Pit. And the rest of WRL Blue got a little too aggressive, but the re-engage from the Poppy, trying to set it up. The Call of the Forge God gets winded down and finds the knockup onto the front line, but Onron is still ready to play with the Darkened Blade. Big slam into the wall. Huiba is pinned, but a 3-man kick will stop the fight from continuing.
Every single one of these fights, Rafa, are so close. Again, blinking health bars on either side, but you're seeing how difficult it is to try and lock down and try and kill.
Has a significant item advantage over the Lee Sin with that latest Trinity Force pickup in his inventory, which is why WRL Red is giving so much respect and space in this blue quadrant. They try to jump onto Onron. They force the flash out of him. Call of the Forge God looks for the knockup, hits 2, but no one can follow up in it just quite yet. Nunu is just burning down the Baron and the rest of WRL Blue, trying to prevent them from getting into the pit. The Baron is secured for WRL Blue. From the Ornn sets it up. New gets knocked down, blown to smithereens goes WRL Blue. A massive double kill for Scene's Renekton, and just like that, WRL Red find the window they needed to come back in this game.
What a crazy knockoff. DY, we talked about this tank in the mid lane to be able to support these team fights, and now it happened. It could happen another time with a tidal wave. No, it's just for zoning, but that was an impressive showing. There's CC lock, he's fine.
Oh, the poke!
But at least
Onron is on the chase now. He's ready to deal the pain and end their world. SkyFL can't go anywhere.
Has juxtaposed with the tank in the mid lane, that means they lack the wave clear necessary to slow down this
Huiba.
lead with this Baron, and Huiba just falls.
Did he just die solo to a Poppy? Is that what I saw?
And the karma did it.
And the karma, I
all
think.
right, well, that makes a little bit more
true.
sense. But meanwhile, the dive continues on the bottom side of the map. Onron finds the second cast of the Darkened Blade, hits the third sweet spot,
Oh, the dodge.
and is able to walk out safely. Darkened Blade used once again. Onron can continue casting them to his free will, and the rest of WRL Red are down to the last defenses.
Not really much more that they could do right now. The Baron minions have stopped, though. The Baron buff has...
And then just really negate the impact of this lead that this Renekton has.
Teleport's coming in already from Xjong so that he can be
Donut.
here for the Dragon objective. It is the Ocean Soul at this stage in the game. Onron forcing out the dominance from Seam without popping his own World Ender. He's going to have the
so
ultimate
low.
advantage. WRL Blue just slowly whittling down the Dragon, holding space. Decent knock-up onto two there. DY pops the Gargoyle Stone plate and gives himself a massive shield, but now Onron, it's his turn to play. He looms forward. He looks to end their worlds as he tries to find a Darkened Blade sweet spot. Barely misses it, but Nunu has already assassinated the fish on the other side of the wall, and they turn their attention to the Baron Nashor.
They're able to get the Dragon Soul as well, so they have the Infernal Soul for the extra damage, and now they're going to be able to take the second Baron, and it's going to become... It's going to need an absolute miracle from WRLR now. They go for this early game composition with the next... I love that they were able to just zone them away, be able to take that Infernal Soul. Now this Ezreal is doing so much damage with just one Mystic shot. The Talon even jumps in underneath the Nexus.
True Shot Barrage rips through their base of WRL Red. Massive knockup with the Call of the Forge God, but they cannot get through the front line, and it's WRL Red that are beginning to fall one after another. WRL Blue's Poppy sends them away with the Keeper's Verdict, buys time to hit the Nexus. WRL Blue take the first game. GG!
What a performance in the end. The scaling was absolutely insane. And the outplays from Anran 9, I mean, this is a star player coming into this Pro Track 5v5 that we were highlighting as one having so much lockdown. It means the likes of the Nidalee and the Xayah can poke and do a lot of damage from the back line.
Exactly, with this all-in type of composition from WRL Red, that means this Feather Storm coming from the Xayah is very self-sufficient when it comes to making sure that, just as you said, not getting dove upon and can disengage all by herself.
You cannot just jump in as a squishy Nidalee building full damage because you will easily get blown up in the blink of an eye. You have to play for poke, you have to play for healing, and even using your Primal Surge to buff up your Xayah so she gets that extra attack speed.
Yeah, I mean, you might even see like some sort of like supportive play style, as you mentioned,
True.
you know, with buffing up the Xayah, with getting the attack speed, even healing someone like the Camille and the Ambessa. When you talk about these bruisers that have been played instead of mages, they benefit so much from the attack speed. But I totally agree that I feel like even though in a solo queue environment you want to play more aggressive, Huiba might be a little bit more passive with this style of play. Looking at his jungle clear, interesting enough, he is skipping his Crux. He's going for red buff, trying to play towards the Camille lane, didn't wait for the ultimate of the Hextech ultimatum, instead just trying to push out the lane. But again, I just feel like it's getting further and further behind.
And meanwhile, Nunu makes his mark on the bottom side of the map, recognizing that Huiba's Nidalee was in the Baron lane. Thankfully for the rest of WRL Red, they're able to survive for now, but the Yone from Soldier goes in with a bait shield, tries to link back into SM1, but here comes Ambessa from Sky and Fell and draws first blood.
Beautiful stuff there. I was going to say, for an all-in type of composition,
Look
a little bit
Nidalee, by the way. What's Huiba
over
doing?
here.
He's going
Just
on an
getting
adventure. Yeah.
His bot lane's getting ganked. What is going on?
Don't worry, guys. Gromp has been secured, but he's going to step on up.
There he
looking for
is.
the Shield of Daybreak for the stun.
Dark Harvest stack. Worth.
Okay,
There's a stack.
okay, he's going to go for the Empowered Pounds. And it looks like Nunu has already made his escape at the cost of his own flash. You can see that WRL Red were trying to coordinate a collapse there, but maybe Skyfell's and Bessa has gone a little too deep. The rest of WRL Red were already on the have to offer.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure. I mean, I'm very surprised they didn't at least try and engage or try and get some sort of priority. Maybe they didn't have the pushing power in mid, the pushing power in top. Meanwhile, Skyfell in the bot side is going to use the ultimate, but is he going to be able to escape? No! Or it could be able to flash away, securing the kill there onto Skyfell.
There's a teleport coming in. Do they want to re-engage here? Because they have the Leona. Sword player!
Fate Seal from Soldier just tried to get away from
CC.
danger. The chain CC not enough.
DY.
Unless DY flashes in for the kill, ensuring that the bug is squashed. Go
Why has this guy been a support main his whole life? He can play Xayah, he can play an AD carry. That was perfectly played. The lockdown from Leona, the feathers afterwards for the lockdown, flashing forward, knowing that you time the ultimate to perfection.
Another one.
To be fair, DY learned from the best in Barry back in the day on that J-Team squad, but here we go. The action continues, and Huiba picks up his second kill of the game on the Nidalee.
It just won't stop. Again, they really have to...
Can be very scary to deal with.
Exactly. That's why they're just really ramping up and starting more fights as much as possible. And the key here, well, Jamshi's able to escape.
Oh no, Yuli! Locked down by the Hextech ultimatum.
No.
There's nowhere else for her to go.
Hextech ultimatum as well. At some point, Leona feels like not the best choice. And now they're getting the Baron so fast.
There's no chance for WRL Blue to steal it away unless there's a miracle happening. But
TP
unfortunately
behind them.
Soldier, he doesn't have a smite. Hextech ultimatum is going to lock down X. John tries to flash away, but still trapped inside that ultimate. Goes back in with the infinite duress, setting up the turnaround. WRL Blue looking for the backline. The Featherstorm keeps DY alive and still survives for now. There is a moment, a desperate hope from WRL Blue, but quickly dashed away as now it is WRL Red looking for the collapse. Zhangji might just be the first target to fall here. The spear connects and the takedown comes through. One more attack from DY sends Zhangji back to the graveyard.
Perfect.
Under everybody's belt, by the way, so nobody can heal at all, no matter what.
And it totally makes sense. Good rake back with the feathers there. DY goes in the air with a Featherstorm, and now this AD carry is alive and ready to exacerbate all their free will. Public execution re-engage. It's a double kill for Huiba. Yuli is the next one to drop, and the rampage continues from WRL Red. Mew, the last member standing, but Huiba is the true jungle king this time around as the second game comes to an end, and this time it is WR Red that finds them victorious. GG!
They take game number 2, and now we're at a tie. We got a series on our hands.
Yes! We've said the thing, y'all. Huiba, that first international champion in Wild Rift, steps up to the plate, throws down our very first Nidalee performance. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was a little questioning. You throw a buster shot, and as soon as WRL Blue try to overdive into your composition, the buster shot comes out from the Tristana, you can punt them back, and if they're low enough, then the Yasuo can feel bold enough to follow up with the last breath. But now looking at the WRL Blue composition.
Other side, I think when you have so much of these anti-melee champions, like the Jax couldn't do so well against melee champions, the Milio can do so well and knocking them back as well. I think with Shizi coming into this roster and giving that extra bit of spice as well. And is it?
Let's see.
It's like, you know, it's Yasuo bot lane with Skyfell and DY instead going into the mid lane with Tristana. So they're trying to get a lot of mid lane power against this Volibear, trying to put the Volibear behind and putting a Yasuo bot lane, which is not that bad because you're only against a Senna and a Gragas, so you can do a little bit of cooking down here.
And now if you do have priority for the side of DY, that means Huiba has a bit more space to sort of roam alongside and invade Lilia's jungle!
Potentially the reckless swing, it's not enough. Scene is the victorious member in the Baron lane 1v1. WRL Red draw first blood.
Beautiful play there.
You have to face the Volibear that was able to farm in the mid lane solo!
Counter-Strike set up there. My goodness. It really was a moment where Huiba was trying to find an opportunistic fight. 2v3 dive in the bottom side of the map. Scene trying to take out as many minions as possible with the Counter-Strike, but there's too many members here from the side of WRL Blue, forcing the issue, getting the turret successfully taken down. The explosive cast is going to bring them closer, and DY is trying to do as much as he can, but the Bloodthirster just not enough to cut through the bruisers just yet. And you can see that the rest of WRL Red cannot cut through any member from the side of WRL Blue. Zhangji eventually fell, but the rest of WRL Red is in from Onron, forces the ultimate last breath onto the backside, but Soldier is able to cleanse the knockup somehow, some way. Skyfell forced to flash away, and the rest of WRL Red starting to struggle in this game 3. Onron maybe looking to continue the dive, just forcing them away, and guarantees the Dragons belong to WRL Blue.
No soul secured this game, Eva. It's going to be another game when the Dragons are just going to be stacking up, but no soul required for both teams. Really well played in the end by Amran9, going for the engage afterwards, knowing that the Tristana, again, as I mentioned, just doesn't have enough damage at the moment. Your Tristana was auto attacking so many
And the
times.
Senna on top of it. And you can see how easy it is for WRL Blue to
Oh
feel
my gosh.
confident to just rip this objective apart. Huiba, can he even
Can't do
get
anything
near
about
to
it.
the Baron
the
pit?
zoning.
No, not in
What?
time. Baron secured. Last breath used to try and find a knockup, but Onron's counterattack is too fierce. This electric bear is just mauling them all to death, and WRL Red are running for their lives.
3,000
attacks
gold.
down, and it feels like it's just a little bit of a tickle. Frozen Heart activated, Warmogs even at the hands of Jiangxi. I feel like that's definitely enough to really mitigate a lot of these, long drawn fights.
Look at this. Onron takes the last
Boom.
breath to the face, doesn't give a damn, goes back in for the dive, but meanwhile, Huiba finding a
Lilia's
massive
dead.
shutdown onto New News Lilia. Maybe this is a moment for WRL Red to steamroll themselves back into the game. They're still only down 3,000 gold, and the gold difference is starting to show its ugly head as the rest of WRLR Blue are able to answer back, just baiting in the WRL Red squad with false hope. After killing the Lilia, they thought it was their time to really come back into the fray. Another last breath
They're
count
still
on the
fighting.
upside, but Onron cannot die. He gets killed by another tornado, but SkyFL is just too weak. And here comes the Ragnarok Viking. Reckless swing to the face. WRL Blue own this rift.
While everything was happening on the bot side, they were fighting for a good 2
Gotta go back.
I don't think anyone could respond right now to Anran 9.
Potential fight in the mid lane. Good knock up onto
Ninja
Huiba.
Core.
Force the flash
Huiba.
away. Exclusive
Yes.
cast! And there's Nunu with the follow-up. Blooming blows into the flash to send Huiba back to the fountain. A rampaging Ragnarok Viking is running loose in WRL Red's base. And SkyFL is the next man on the menu.
Whoa.
The Electric Bear will sink his fangs into the Swordsman, and WRL Red are down on their last legs. WRL Blue steamroll the game, steamroll the base, and WRL Red can't do a damn thing about it. The ace will not come through for Zed as he tries to survive, but his base cannot do the same. Game 3 goes to WRL Blue. GG!
What a game. I swear, it felt a little bit close. I mean, when we look back at the draft, it felt like everybody had their own set plan in mind. Exactly. And the first 3 picks that you see on the side of WRLB side have a couple of escape tools, and I feel like the Singe is a solution to that to keep them rooted in place.
I feel like one big thing though with Huiba, with the Mordekaiser, we talk about how Jin is very vulnerable. One thing that you can protect that Jin with is using Mordekaiser's ultimate.
Right.
If the Zed tries to jump
That
in.
jungle meta was one of the most eye-opening things I had ever seen in the early stages of this awesome game that is Wild Rift, because I used to think you just want to play early skirmishes, you want to get ahead. But it is Huiba that is invading in the bot side jungle with this pure jungle. The Singe support trying to give him an easy layup, and the smite comes through. Huiba is level 2. He's able to dash over the wall with that first ability, using the riposte. Invade successful for Huiba.
And I guess they needed something a little bit spicy in this game because they are losing. It is 2-1 at the moment for WRL Blue. So they were like, Huiba, you can use your mobility. You can try and go in and steal early on. And on the other side, it actually is going to be Zed jungle and Wukong on the other side. So you're putting the Zed very far behind early on.
Oh.
And now in the mid lane, SkyFL also gets a solo kill onto Anran 9. So this is something that WRLR Scuttle Crab, which they've already done, and Huiba can look to play more aggressive.
You normally don't think of Fiora as an invading, powerful jungler, but just because he has the
his
advantage,
Singe
they're going
as
to
well.
force the dive, and this Singe support is making plays once again alongside Huiba. SMY and Huiba linking up the powerful tag team jungle support duo, giving WRL...
In the end, though, the Jin has fallen a little bit far behind. Ziggs was able to get 3 tower planes in the bot side, but they're going for more invades. They want to play more aggressive, Rafa.
I mean, SMY is not going to stop anytime soon. The grand challenge initiated, falling over the wall with the flash down.
One more dash!
One more dash! Prompted by Huiba's Fiora there, but unfortunately for him, not able to get the last proc as Jiangxi did an excellent job of hiding it on his...
It's actually deal damage 2 towers now as well. Yeah, so that's a new thing that came in really in the last few months.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, she can take towers very, very well, but instead they're going to go for the ensemble fight instead. No trading objectives this time that we've been seeing throughout the series.
my god.
SMY looks for the fling onto Onron. The Garen is able to reduce a lot of damage thanks to that second ability, but now it has already been expended. Deathmark right on top of Scene, looking for extra shurikens. Doesn't find the pop just yet, but it looks like it is Onron able to continue the play onto the back line.
running it.
But Huiba is now running the show
Critical.
as he's able to dish, dash, dodge, and weave, but the steal from Nunu is able to secure the ensemble before he goes down. Ends up being a double kill, 4 kills total for Huiba, but at least for WRL Blue, they secure the ensemble.
Beautiful stuff here coming from the side of WRLR. Their team fighting. They split the fight into 2. I know it's still not over. It's going to be a bit of a delay. Huiba's not back home yet, by the way.
The poke and the trades from this Rise. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map,
There we
the
go.
turret was slain. Cyclone popped by Xjon just to make sure that he can run away, but the claw from SkyFL pulls Xjon right back in, flashing over the wall, but Huiba follows. He's looking for a worthy opponent, and he's finding none because everyone else is dying around him. Nunu forced to use the Deathmark to try and pull some Shadow Clone Jutsu, but SkyFL, WRL Blue, falling further behind.
I feel like there is no target anymore with the death mark coming from Nunu. But hold that thought, there's going to be another dive.
SMY back at it again with the white fans running around,
What?
and Huiba is diving past 2 turrets. He's too far ahead.
He's way too tanky. He's doing way too much damage. 6-0 for Huiba at the moment. 1,500 gold lead. They're trying to push the wave, but at the same time, Garen is spinning to win to try and defend this wave.
Deadly Flourish roots him down. Onron forced to flash away. SMY on the Singed has been an absolute star, setting up
Perhaps
the
there is a chance for them to get back into this game. The problem is, we talked about this before, how WRL Red is able to start these fights even though they're not ready.
Uh-oh, Zhangji's in a world of trouble. At least was able to provide enough safety for Soldier to get out, but he's the first one to fall. Onron trying to spin to win, but this guy does no damage at this stage of the game. Too far behind with only a Black Cleaver is his main damage item. WRL Blue immediately lose 2, and the Baron is the next target.
Looks like they're going to try and jump onto the Zed as well. They really have so much potential. The Realm Orb into the backline. Zed!
The Spell Flux throws another rune into Nunu's face, and the final member of WRL Blue in Xjon will make his grand escape. But just as I say that, the fling comes through as the Mega Adhesive slows him down. You have to somehow surmount, but with the emote choice that Zhangji just spammed there, I think we all know what the result of this final Game 4 is going to be before we head into the Game 5 blind pick. Massive knockup and massive damage from the Mega Inferno Bomb. Onron flashing in. Finds SMY. Wait a minute. WRL Blue spring the trap. Looking for more on the follow-up, but Scene is able to answer right on back, eliminating the Euro from the Rift itself. And here comes Huiba, the master dueler himself, as he longs for a worthy opponent, but cannot find one that can step up to the grand challenge.
2 inhibitor turrets taken down. Will they go for the end, or will they go for that?
I suppose.
Huiba's having a field day right now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Huiba just baits out 2-3 ultimate cooldowns and says, yeah, that does nothing to me. Heals back up with the Honey Fruit. Zhangji is the first one to fall. Going to be down for the next 40 seconds.
For WRLR as we take a look at potentially the final team fight towards this barrel. Look at SkyFL.
He looms forward, pops one member into the Death Realm. It's Nunu using the Death Mark just to escape. Can't really do any lethal blows. Huiba flashing all around them. The Grand Duelist, the first international champion to ever grace Wild Rift, makes his mark here in Ho Chi Minh City, and he's carrying his team to one final game. Zhangji will get flipped over back to death, and WRL Blue can only look to Soldier as their last line of defense, but it's just a Yordle versus the world, and the Nexus will not stand the test of time. We're going to Game 5. GG!
Game 5 blind pick to end the Wild Round Smash with some of the best players that we have ever seen for Wild Rift. What a great way to end the day and to end the entire weekend.
We're hearing silver streams It's tradition.
Bobby, and we should be hopping into pick and ban. And because it is blind pick, That's right. That's right.
It's just
just
picks.
blind
Go
pick.
straight into game, hopefully.
So we should just go into the lobby. Oh, so they've already
Straight
done
in,
it.
there we go.
All right, here we go. Gwen.
Ezreal versus Ezreal.
Yasuo in the mid lane. We've got a Lee Sin in the jungle for Nunu as well, so you already have guaranteed knock-up wombo combos there. It's going to be Soldier and Nunu trying to link up and make those plays happen.
Gwen versus Gwen.
I know.
Ezreal versus Ezreal. This is what we wanted to see. The final game to decide the series, the final game of Wild Round Smash. We get the mirror matchups. We remember, so he's playing his signature pick in game number 5 to see if he can do it for WRL Blue.
Super duper excited. We saw it in the 1v1s in the past, but it's not going to be a mirror matchup with the Gwens. But instead,
Oh, I mean, he was only level 3, but here comes a level 5 Nunu Lee Sin. One more auto attack does the job. First blood is drawn by WRL Blue.
that was a crazy bait, by the way. Like, okay, I'm losing the duel a little bit. I'm going to lead you towards the bottom side in a second visit.
no!
Cease and desist right on top of Soldier, who's still only level 4. He's trying to dash through the minion waves, but just cannot buy enough
Wave
time.
was like, okay, you're mine, buddy. Season assist, the lockdown straight away. Soldier tried his best to try and escape, but it wasn't enough. Meanwhile, another snip in the mid lane. Skyfell.
Whoa! The needlework cuts them down. Skyfell not long for this one as Huiba forced to flash away because the reinforcements from
Link
WRLR
pouring in, but this is a marinated lane for Nunu to get some kills.
marinated, and now he's coming in to feast. Nunu kicks him in the face. Down goes DY.
You can see that the Bod was there to protect him
Able
as
to
well.
help him set up for some last breaths. I think that is going to be quite the setup.
DY
He's fine.
gets
Oh,
interrupted.
maybe not.
Tempered Fate comes through. Nunu, does he go in? Yeah, he's got the damage alongside Onron, slaying DY's Ezreal where he stands. And Huiba tried to look for a response, but went way too deep. And now WRL Blue doubled down successfully.
We know how much. Wait, we're getting the mirror matchup.
Oh,
Needlework
zip.
versus needlework. Scissors flying at the moment. WRL Red trying to see if they can hold on. Scene goes in for one more snip, but here comes X-Jong. A couple auto attacks to flush away at the last possible second. Huiba comes in for the alley-oop. Baited and outsmarted. Scene, the victorious Gwen in the Baron lane.
We got scammed of the 1v1 Gwen. Huiba just comes in and steals the fun for all of us, but the fun doesn't stop here. There is a fight towards the ensemble. And in the mid lane again, DY is just caught out.
Temper Fate is going to look for another pick right on top of it as well. SMY barely survives. Meanwhile, more fighting on the other side. Skyfell trying to look for the heroic charge. As it looks like Nunu is waiting for his time to strike onto Skyfell. The steadfast press is already used. Good kick with the Dragon's Rage. Propels them back. SMY trying to see if he can assist Skyfell onto the fight. But Huiba over the wall. Goal breaks him in the face. Nunu went flying for the SMY kill, but goes down in a trade. Huiba has the cease and desist once again for the knock-up. And Soldier is in a world of trouble. One more fist in the face could do the job. But he makes only less than 2,000 gold at this point. WRL Red have done a decent job of farming themselves back into the game. Tempered Fate onto the back line. Decent damage onto SMY, but he diffuses the play from looking for more on the DY's Ezreal as Soldier tries to look for the last breath setup, but he gets stunned. CC locked down, takes a lot of damage on the escape path out. Gets that alive for now, but WRL Red, you can see that they're starting to scale into this game.
Yeah, they're going to try and potentially start towards this Baron as well, knowing that Soldier is so low on HP. He will be healing up, though, from these minions in the mid lane, thanks to that Bloodthirster. They did try and start the Baron there for WRL Red, but in the end, they're just going to back off for now, knowing that that Baron debuff can be very scary against the poke of them. And you can see the level of respect that these two teams have for each other.
You can tell that a storm is brewing. The stakes are beginning to rise and the tension is getting at an all-time high. Both of these teams know how important it is to make this next fight count. It could be the one that secures their momentum in closing out this series and securing themselves as Wild Round Smash champions. The Tempered Fate right on top of Skyfell. He's able to flash away in the nick of time. Needlework already used True Shot Barrage. Decent poke into the back line. Rest of WRL Red hold strong and weather the storm.
One thing to point out as well is that both Ezreals are now even except for the boots upgrade. There is Q targets now for me to hold down.
Yeah, Anima 9 hasn't been able to go back to base yet. He probably has a lot of gold in his bank because there's a 1,500 gold difference at the moment.
Whoa.
But they might even just fight over a blue buff here.
Potential engage, the temper. Oh, whoa, the magical
They
journey!
catch him both.
He
Oh,
got
no.
slammed into the wall, couldn't take the magical journey out in time. They lose out on Zhongji's Bard, and WRL Red have the man advantage.
They might try towards the Baron, or they
Flash
might start
forward,
fight.
SMY with the ultimate sets up. The Huiba into the backline, they find Soldier next. Rest of WRL Blue trying to reposition. Multiple members are low on HP from the side of WRL Red. They're not going to push the issue any further. Nunu starting to slink around on the right side, looking for any targets he can assassinate.
He's going to just steal the red buff for now and try and use that mobility to escape, but with the movement speed from Karma, he has to be forced to flash away. Very scary stuff at the moment for both teams. But meanwhile,
What?
the Baron's being started.
Oh,
They blink
baby.
health bars for WRL Red.
They saw that Nunu was forced to flash away, but there's so much damage.
Temper
Temper Fade
Fade.
from Zhongji stalls out the Baron play. Nunu has arrived to the play. 3,000 HP. Who's going to get it? Huiba secures the Baron, but it's an all-out brawl in the Baron pit. Everyone from WRL Red has to bail and preserve as many Baron buffs as possible. On is on the chase. He wants one. He wants to take him down, but DY emerges and stands tall as the better Ezreal. Sky FL continuing to do battle against Zhongji, but he's low in HP. He's got to get out as well. But WRL Red find their first huge momentum swing in this game 5.
What a back and forth game this is. This is so intense right
The
now.
denying of backs. You can tell that they want to go home, buy some items, but yet, no.
A flash forward from SkyFL just to create space off of the Tempered Fate attempt from the side of WRL Blue. The turret falls in favor of WRL Red, and they're continuing the push in the mid lane. Huiba can threaten with a cease and desist once it's back off cooldown. They've already used it for that engage, and look at how much sieging they've been able to get
back up as well. They have the healing from Radiant Virtue. They have the more supportive style of this Karma this time around. Tempered Fate misses again, and that could be the difference in this last fight as Soldier does get rooted.
Gets rooted up, cease and desist right on top of it.
He's
He's
just
isolated for the
gone.
rest of his team. No one can provide a knockup for him to use the last breath and reset his flow shield. And the rest of WRL Red, they're hungry for the championship. They're hungry to take down every last member of WRL Blue. The death timers are insanely long. This could just be WRL Red on the victory march.
What a play, but what a chase that we have witnessed from WRLR. They saw the opportunity. Tempered Fate out of the way. Let's get in there. They have no opportunity to run away anymore.
Nunu, the last line of defense. He has to do everything that he can to defend this title from going away, but WRL Red don't give a damn. The Nexus falls. WRL Red rise as your 2025 Wild Round Smash champions.
What a performance, what a series. Blind pick game number 5 is what it came down to. And it was the tanks in the end. It was that Poppy making a huge difference in these fights. And you can see, even though this is an all-star match, even though this is meant to be